Today I decided that I was going to share one of my favorite recipes. For a year and a half I lived in South Korea, and this brownie recipe was one that I used on a very regular basis. It's really simple and really delicious. It doesn't have a whole lot of substitutions, and the only one it has, in fact, is one we've already discussed, but it is a favorite and I wanted to share it with you today. So to start with, there's 1 cup of sugar. Add to that a 1/2 cup of flour, a 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. After that, it's a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Pretty basic for the dry ingredients. Now generally I start with wet ingredients and then do the dry ingredients separate and mix them in, but there is a technique I found that actually makes the brownies fluffier and more tender and just more enjoyable all around. And so that is, after mixing the dry ingredients, to directly add the oil. Now the recipe calls for 1/2 cup of butter, but again, as I've discussed before, when it calls for 1/2 cup of butter, if you're substituting so it is non-dairy, you just add in a 1/3 cup of oil. After that, you want to mix it in. The texture may not be beautiful at first. It'll be really clumpy and pretty dry, but when you do it like this, the oil surrounds the flour and actually causes it so it doesn't mix as much with the other ingredients and makes it more fluffy in the end. Once you finish mixing, the texture should still be a little bit chunky and dry because all we've added is the oil. So next we'll add in 2 eggs and then a teaspoon of vanilla. And once you finish mixing all of this in, you'll want to pour it into a greased baking pan, and you'll cook the brownies on 350 degrees. And this recipe also will change how long you need to cook it depending on altitude and humidity and other such things, but generally you'll want to cook it for about 30 minutes. And here you are, fresh homemade brownies, completely dairy-free and utterly delicious.